so fun, right? All right, so welcome everyone to session 4. Today we are talking about launching your business to success. I'm going to be going through some strategies that I've used personally to build my business to 6 figures. We are also going to be covering some content at the very end, some bonus content for you guys about launching a new product and bringing that new product to market. So you're going to want to make sure that you stay on for the entire thing. So like I said, welcome to session 4. We have a giveaway that we're going to be doing today at 9 p.m. for all of you that are on. So make sure if you're on right now, you hashtag Faith Over Fear for your first entry. If you're watching this later, make sure you drop that in the comments as well. For every time you comment and interact on this Facebook Live, you're going to get another entry. If you tag 2 people, you're going to get some more entries. If you share this, you're going to get 5 entries. And at the very end, I'm going to give you guys a call to action. So you're going to want to make sure you stay on till the very end so you can get those extra entries. This is day 4. It's session 4. So if this is your first time on our live, make sure you go back and watch the other sessions that we've already done, because every day we build on top of each other. So there's going to be something I talk about today, you guys, that we're digging into tomorrow. Tomorrow, the entire session is going to be all about that. So my name is Ashley Walmer. I am a founding circle member with Emrys International. We have been doing this for almost a year, you guys. Our company hasn't even officially launched. It is super exciting just to be a part of something at the beginning, at ground floor, to know that I'm making an impact, that our teams are shaping the culture of this company. But I've been in this industry since I was 19 years old, you guys. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. I left the industry for a while because my heart was so broken. I didn't think that there was a company out there that I could put my faith, my trust in corporate leadership. And I'm here to tell you we have gold with our co-founders. And so if you are a part of Emrys, special shout out to you guys, much love. But if you are watching from another company, welcome. We want to give you guys some incredible content today. So my experience, just kind of where I have found myself in this industry and how this is just even relevant today, you guys, is I've built my business around this 5-step process all the way to 6 figures. Anytime I've gotten stuck, anytime I've maybe had a rut in my business, I go back to the very beginning of this 5-step. Every single time that I've ever launched a company or launched a business, this is how I got started. So if you are brand new to this industry or brand new to your company, these are the 5 things you're going to want to do and duplicate them over and over and over again. Maybe you've been in for a little while and you feel like you're at that place where you are stuck and you need to relaunch your business, or maybe you're just at a point where you're like, you know what, I'm really struggling in something in my business and I just don't know what to do to get started. I have a really good friend that is in my organization. Her name is Nikki Van Timmeren. And I remember her saying to somebody one time, if you're feeling stuck, just go do one thing. Just take one step forward, you guys. That one step forward is the very first step of this 5-step process. It's doing something, it's income producing activities. But here's the thing, when you get into a business and you decide that you are going to make this and you take away yourself the reason to quit, the excuse, you remove that option from yourself, okay? You make a decision and you're just excited about what you have your hands on, and you know and understand that everybody needs to hear about that, okay? That is the most important thing that happens, is the excitement and sharing it with everybody when you first get started. Here's what I see some people do and fall into in a trap that's really dangerous when they first get started in this industry, is they feel like they need to know everything, right? They become a learning sponge and they know how to list off all the ingredients and they know everything about your back office. And here's what happens is they're learning all this information about the company and the compensation plan. And they get 2 or 3 months in and they look back at their paychecks and they're frustrated because they haven't made any money. Well, if they were to really take a good hard look and self-reflect a little bit, they would realize that they haven't done anything to make any money. They've been in learning mode instead of actually building their paycheck. So the one thing I always teach all of my new brand ambassadors is I want you to learn while you earn. I want you to get a couple nuggets and bolts and then let's go do them. And then you can learn a couple more and then you're going to go do them. But here's the crazy thing, you guys, most people learn by doing. So you're going to make mistakes. That's okay. That's the best way to learn, right? But you're going to start learning all of these tidbits while you're actually making money. And so that's what I want to dig in today, is teaching you guys how to duplicate this process in your own business, and then how to duplicate this process within your organization and your team. And I can say this, if you can master these 5 steps and you can master duplicating them in your organization, you guys are going to watch your business climb through the ranks of whatever company that you're in, all the way up to success. So let's dig in. Step 1. What is step 1? Step 1 is figuring out who you know. Who do you know? It's making a list of people. I've asked myself every single time that I've started a company or started launching a business, okay, if anybody in the entire world, if every single person that I talked to was going to tell me yes, who would be those first people that I would want to give this opportunity to, right? Who would be the first people that I would want to do this with me? Okay. I always offer the business first, because here's the thing, you guys, if you're talking to them about your business and they say to you, you know, I just don't feel like the business is a right fit for me, then you can lead into your products and enroll them as a VIP customer. If they still feel like maybe the products aren't a great fit for them, that's when you can ask for a referral. But I don't really ever lead with products unless somebody is coming to me about one of the products that we have our hands on. Why is that? I don't want to take away an opportunity for somebody else. It is not up to me to decide their future. It's up to them. So I want to put the information in front of them, and I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to do that, but I want them to decide. And so you don't get to, you guys, decide who you put on that list and who you don't put on that list. You just start writing everybody down that you can possibly think of. Where I would suggest to start with is, who would you choose to work with? Who do you admire? Who do you respect? Who do you love? Who would be those first few people that you would write down on that list? Who do you want to spend more time with? Maybe it's a sister, it's a cousin, it's a best friend, right? It's a neighbor that you just genuinely love to hang out with. Who would be those people you want to spend more time with? Who has a great personality in your life? Who's super driven and goal-oriented and is a go-getter that you know in your life? And then who needs this opportunity? You guys, that was me. I needed this opportunity. I am so thankful to the people that have enrolled me in network marketing, because I have needed this business like air to breathe, right? I was going through a divorce and this business was the thing that saved me through it. I had a new baby, and this business and this industry was the thing that allowed me to stay home with my son when my ex-husband was in the military, right? And so I am so genuinely thankful to those people that asked me about it. So who needs this business? Who could you help bless with this? When I first started, I was so excited about what I had my hands on, but I was really scared. I was really scared about like what to say. I didn't feel like I was confident in how to approach people and maybe the words to say. And so I kind of sat back a little bit and I was like, okay, I just kind of need to learn a little bit more. I need to figure out a few things. And I'll tell you, I went to an event, and at that event, I started hearing stories of people that were using the products and had all of these incredible testimonies. I started hearing about people making an extra $500 a month, and people paying off debt, and people paying for their mortgage, and people paying for their dream wedding. And I left that event, my husband and I left that event, and we got in the car and we looked at each other and we were like, what are we doing? Like, we're being super selfish right now. Like, we have our hands on incredible life-changing products, and we have a business opportunity that is literally changing people's lives. What are we doing by not talking about it? Yes, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to choose to be brave, and chase that a little bit and start opening this up to everybody that I know, because it's not fair of me to be sitting on this opportunity and not allowing my friends and family, the people that I care about most, to have that same opportunity. Who do I think I am that I get to decide for them, right? And here's the other thing, you guys. I always say, like, I would feel terrible if in a year from now, one of my closest friends and families comes to me and says, why didn't you tell me about it? Like, you've been sitting on this, you've been making X amount of money, and you could have told me about it. Like, we really needed that back then. We needed that a year ago. We still need it now. That is my biggest fear, is I don't want anybody ever in my life to come to me and say that. And so I need to take full advantage of starting a business and telling everybody that I know. All right. So if you're still sitting there and you're thinking, okay, Ashley, but like, I'm really having a hard time coming up with people. If you were sick right now on the couch, who would you call to bring you chicken noodle soup? Who would run to the store for you and do you that favor? Maybe if you got pregnant or got engaged, like, who would be those first couple people that you would reach out to and tell? Pick up your cell phone, go through your last few text messages, get on Facebook. Who are the last, 10 to 20 people that you sent Facebook inboxes to? That's a great way to start, you guys. Those few people in your life that will help you out, those are great people to actually talk to about being your first customers, about getting on board with our products and being the first testimonials that you see. So step 2, I'm going to kind of talk through a little bit of like what to say. But if you guys have been in for a little while, this is the first thing that you guys can come back to when you start getting stuck. Also, if you've been in a while and you're starting to go through these steps, just know that making your list isn't the thing that you do in the beginning. It's the thing that grows with you through time. You're constantly adding to your list. You're constantly growing your network and expanding that, meeting people in public and networking events and expos. That is growing your list. This isn't just something that happens when you first join a business. So if you feel like you've been in for something for a while and you're like, oh, this doesn't really apply to me. Yes, it does. And that probably right there might be where you're getting stuck if you're just completely discounting this, okay? So step 2 is actually inviting and asking people to take a look at your business, to take a look at what you have your hands on, all right? So don't talk to people without your upline's help if you're just getting started, because I'm here to tell you, you're gonna make the same mistake that I did. You're gonna word vomit all over them. You're gonna answer questions that they're not even answering. You guys are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. That's the best part. Enlist help from your upline, from your mentor, from whoever is coming alongside of you and coaching you. Get ideas on what to say. Go to them and ask them for support and ask them for help on how to actually invite to an event or invite to take a look at something. They've been doing this a little bit longer. It doesn't mean that you aren't going to get there at some point, but I'm here to tell you, just having somebody else take a look at what you're getting ready to send or what you're getting ready to say on a phone call will just help you feel even more confident. I know for me, I didn't want to burn through my list. I didn't want to keep sending the wrong message to all of my good people, right? Like all of my closest friends and family. I didn't want to screw it up. I needed this business like air to breathe, like I told you. And so I wanted to make sure that I was treating this professionally and like a business, and that I was going to the mentor, the person that was coaching me that had the results that I wanted so that I could duplicate that as well. All right. So another big thing when you're first reaching out to those first few people is creating a sense of urgency and piquing their interest, getting them excited by your excitement of like, oh my gosh, when do you have 5 minutes? Like we need to talk. Like go lock yourself in the bathroom. I know your kids are driving you crazy, but like seriously, we need to talk about what I have my hands on because I think that this is right up your alley. Creating that urgency. At Emrys, we build in a binary, which is freaking awesome because we only have to build 2 legs. So creating that urgency with those 2 top spots, you guys, you only have 2 legs. You only have 2 spots at the very top for the life of your business. Like those people that you're talking to in the very beginning should be fighting for your top spots in your organization, right? They should know how big of a deal it is. If you don't have people fighting for those top positions in your business, it's because you're not creating the urgency. You're not telling them how big of a deal it is. How would they know if you're not creating that for them? All right. So my favorite thing to say is, hey, do you have 5 seconds? I need to tell you something. right? They're gonna be like, yeah, what's up, right? So here's the deal. I was helped to launch a brand new ground floor company, and I'm working directly with the people that helped start it. If I could do this business with anyone, you know, Megan, it would be you. You're one of the first people that I'm even talking to about this. So, okay, would you be at least open to hearing me out? Would you be at least open to taking a look? And then be quiet. You guys, let them say, yeah, for sure, I'll take a look at it. What is it, right? And then that's when you're going to screenshot that, send it over to your upline and say, okay, now what? What do I say? Like, I don't know what to say, right? Use your upline's help. The second that you guys are starting to get questions or an objection, you guys, use your upline's help. Get them in a three-way chat, get them on a phone call. They're going to be able to navigate that situation better than you are because you're just starting out and you're just learning. So a lot of times these first two steps, making a list and inviting and asking, is where I see 90% of the people getting stuck because they never even get started. Right? This is where they know what to do, but they're not actually doing it. So this is where I feel like is the most important thing when a new person gets started is have them make a list, have them invite, have them make a list, have them invite to this. So let's go into step 3, which is actually sharing the story, or what I like to say, getting the business in front of somebody. They need to see all the information to be able to make a decision. So you want to get them in front of your business. And this is the thing that can be done in many different ways. And as soon as you get somebody interested, you guys, as soon as you get that person that's like, yeah, what is it? What's going on? What do you have your hands on? Yeah, sure, I'd be open to taking a look at it. The faster you can get them in front of it and get them information, the better your chances are of keeping them engaged in the conversation, okay? So you want to think fast on how you can get this info to them. Think about the person. Think about their schedule and what would work best for them. I sometimes will give people 2 options. I'll say, hey, do you have 5 seconds and I could, FaceTime you real quick? Or would you rather me send you over a video? I'll give them those 2 options. So I'm going to list out a couple of options for you guys of ways to get people in front of this business, okay? You could schedule a 3-way call with your upline. You could put them in a 3-way chat on Facebook or text messages. This is my go-to. This is what I use all the time. Because I believe in human connection, okay? Watching a video is great, but if you can actually talk to somebody, that's my money spot, that's my sweet spot. If I can talk to somebody and relate to them and tell stories where they're relating with me, you guys, success is an identity process. Once somebody can identify with somebody else having success, they feel like they will too. If they sit there and they're talking to an upline and they're sitting there going, oh my gosh, me too. Well, if she can do this business, I can do this business, right? And so that is my favorite way to talk to people and help my team, is that human connection right away in the very beginning. You can call them or FaceTime them as well, okay? If you feel comfortable and confident where you don't need a 3-way call right away in the beginning. I have an actual recorded 3-minute voice audio that I did that's saved on Facebook. Do you guys know if you use a Facebook app on your phone, you can only record up to a minute, right? But there is a feature if you go to Facebook Messenger that you can hit record on a computer or laptop. And I gave just a quick 3-minute overview of what is Emrys, why I decided to do it, and why I would want that person. And I have that recorded, and then I can just save that. And anytime somebody's asking me for more information, I quickly send them that. So I'm giving them a tidbit, and then I want to call them. And then I want to get them onto or into watching a video or something like that. You can send them a video. You guys, we have tons of, short, long videos that are on our YouTube channel. You could tag them in a Facebook Live of somebody from corporate or another leader going through the information, right? Every single Wednesday, we have the privilege of having our co-founders go through the story of Emrys that we can share with people every single week and keep sharing because most of them are on Facebook Live. You can add them to a private info group. I know on our team, we have what we call a prospecting page. It's what I wouldn't say that word to a prospect. I would say, hey, if you're walking into work, no big deal. I'm going to add you to our private info group. You can kind of look around, answer some questions. I'll tag you in a couple of things you were asking me about. And then maybe at lunchtime, you can take a look at it. And after work, I'll follow up with you. Does that work, right? Okay, after Rona is over, this is where the one-on-ones and the actual like in-person events are going to come back into play. That's my other sweet spot. I love talking to people that live around me, and I can say, hey, let's go grab lunch at Panera, and I'll just go over a couple of things. I'll bring you a sample if you want to buy it. It's $20. That way you can leave with the product right there in your hand, and I'll start scheduling one-on-ones, and we do weekly team events, in-person events where we can push people to that as well. So every day, you guys, I have a goal of getting 2 people in front of this business. If I'm able to do that, that's 14 people at the end of the week that are taking a look at Emrys and making a decision if they want to get started as a brand ambassador or as a VIP customer. I feel like over the years, I have a 10% close ratio. So if I can get 14 people in front of the business, chances are 1 to 2 of them are going to sign up and do something by the end of the week. You guys, your business is going to grow daily and grow weekly if you're able to do that. And so figure out what's best for you. Maybe it's a number, maybe it's a time limit. And what I mean by that is maybe you have a goal of, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to invite and ask and share the story with this many people today, or I'm going to do it for 30 minutes and see how many people I can get on for 30 minutes. Whatever you decide to do that works best in your schedule, schedule it in and be consistent with that. Okay. So step 4 is actually enrolling those VIP customers and brand ambassadors. And this really encompasses follow up and making the ask. You've got to follow up and you've got to make the ask to actually get people to enroll with you. All right. So 9 out of 10 people will not come to you. You have to go to them. You have to stay in control of that conversation and control that part of it. So making the ask, this is where, have you ever thought to yourself, oh my gosh, I got 10 people on the live, but like nobody's done anything, like nobody's ordered, or, I don't know what's going on. And it's like, well, have you asked them to order? Have you asked them to join your team after you got them in front of the business? You guys, that is the next most important step. So as soon as you get them in front of the business, it is your job to make the ask. My favorite way to do that is, sending them a voice audio and be like, oh my gosh, what do you think? Wasn't that so cool? So do you see yourself doing this with me? Do you see yourself making money with me doing this? Like, you would be so freaking incredible. I cannot even tell you, and the best part, we get to do this together. Right? So I'm making the ask. I'm asking them what their favorite part is. I'm reassuring them that they're not going to be alone and that they're going to be really good at this. So follow up, my biggest tip for follow up, and I'm kind of just giving you guys little bits of information with this because tomorrow I am going to have 2 incredible women on and we're going to dive into follow up and making the ask. But my favorite tip for follow up of getting people in the system that you have to go back to is just simply saying something like, hey, I'm throwing in some last minute orders. Did you want me to place yours for you too? Or, hey, I'm sitting down at my computer right now and I just remembered I hadn't followed up with you. I know we had talked a couple days ago about you getting started and joining the team. Do you want me to go ahead and walk you through what that process is, right? So it's follow up and making the ask. Here's one thing I'll tell you. You guys are not annoying, pushy, weird people. That is the biggest thing I hear is, I just don't want my friends and family to think I'm being pushy. Why would they think you're being pushy? You're not a pushy person. Well, I don't want to annoy people. You're not an annoying person. You're not going to annoy people. To me, follow up, if you don't do it, that's rude. Okay. So if somebody is genuinely interested in your products or your business and you don't follow up with them, what do you think that says to them? Oh, she doesn't really want me to do this very much, right? Or did she forget about me? How many times have you guys forgotten to order something that you wanted to? Did it this week. My son came to me and said he needed new shoes because his toes were coming through the top. And I was like, okay, I'll get on Shoe Carnival because I can't go to the store and I'll order you some. I did. And then I totally forgot when it came because I got sidetracked, right? 3 days later, he's like, Mom, when are my shoes coming? I was like, ooh, I kind of forgot. If I would have had a reminder from them to say, hey, you didn't place your order. Do you want to? I would have done it right then and there. So don't look at yourself as annoying, rude, pushy. Look at yourself as a kind human being that cares about other people. And you just want to make sure that they get the information that they need, right? So all right, that leads me into step 5. And I will tell you that this is probably the key to all of it. Okay. Step 5 is something that I call lead, or we call it Emrys Lead, LEAD. And I'm going to break down what those are, but it's duplication, you guys. It is duplication. It is incredible if you know how to make a list and you know how to invite and ask and share the story and get people in. But if you don't know what to do with those people and you don't teach those people to go do those 4 things, you are going to be somebody that is a mass recruiter that enrolls a ton of people, and you're not making any money, and you're probably upsetting the people that you enroll because you're not helping them. Right? This to me is what I am the most passionate about in this industry, is that we have the opportunity to help people. Yes, getting them into a business is helping them. Good job. Absolutely, for sure. But if you don't teach them what you know and duplicate that for them, you're doing them a disservice. Okay? So let's talk about LEAD. It stands for launch, equip, anchor, and develop. Okay? So launch. The second that you enroll a brand ambassador, you want to help them go through these 4 steps as fast as possible and teach them these 4 steps like the back of their hand, right? I schedule a game plan session with that person right away. Sometimes it's through text message, sometimes it's a FaceTime, sometimes it's a Zoom, sometimes it's a phone call. But I want to talk to them and figure out some of these business building things. I want to get their why. I want to know why they're doing this business, and I want to help them make their list and invite to the very beginning. That's what they need help with right away, okay? So one thing my husband said a couple weeks ago that will always stick with me is he said, if people focused on when they enrolled a new brand ambassador, helping that brand ambassador go get 2 people before they're on to their next person, everything would change. I was like, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. I'm not telling you don't go enroll and don't keep recruiting. You need to be doing that, obviously. But if your responsibility was to that person that you just enrolled to help them go get 2 people and duplicate that, you guys, your businesses are just going to explode. Okay. Let me go back to my notes because I kind of went off topic for a second. Oh, the next thing I'll say about launching them, you guys, is give them clear, specific goals. So at Emrys, what I tell people right away in the very beginning is you have 2 goals. All right. You have a goal to go enroll 2 to 4 customers and 2 brand ambassadors. We can do it as fast or as slow as you want. We can get it done in 24, 48 hours. We can do it in a week. We can do it in a month. It's totally up to you, but those are your 2 goals. Okay, enrolling 2 brand ambassadors and 2 to 4 VIP customers. It's going to help you, equip you for this business. Now, the next letter is E. It's equip. This is where we teach our teams where resources are. I firmly believe you want to spoon feed your new people in the very beginning and transition them over to confidence. When people first enroll in a business, they don't know what to say. They don't know how to say. They don't know how to overcome objections. They don't know how to describe the products. That's what you're there for. You're the spoon feeder. But as you guys are spoon feeding, you're going to want to wean them off of you from the standpoint of you want to teach them how to fish. Okay. If you're constantly answering all their questions when you know that you could push them somewhere else and they could figure it out for themselves at some point, you're doing them a disservice if you constantly always answer all their questions. Why? Because you're just giving them a fish, and somebody can eat for a fish, or someone can eat a fish one day, but if they don't know how to go fish for themselves, they're going to die, right? And so you want to teach them where to find these resources and where to go. And here's the other thing, you guys, you're not going to always be there. If you're on another phone call and someone's saying, what's customer services number? And you haven't taught them, go to the website and scroll to the bottom and it's right there, right? Like, if they can't get a hold of you, they need to know where to go to find these resources. So don't keep them in training mode. Don't let them feel like they have to know absolutely everything. Sprinkle some nuggets on them. Keep it to the basics, but at least kind of equip them with where resources are so when you're not available, they can go to those things. A stands for anchor. Okay, this is where you're anchoring them to you, to the company, to your team, to the co-founders. You want to connect people. People need to feel a part of something bigger than themselves. This is where anchoring them comes in. It's where casting a bigger vision for them comes in. Introduce them to your uplines, introduce them to the community that we have here, let them see the bigger picture, have them follow leaders in the company, have them follow the co-founders and the CEO, make sure they're plugged into the weekly calls and the YouTube channel, and they know where to find this information. We need connection as people. It's like a basic need that we have, and if people start feeling like they're doing this alone, they start fizzling out, okay? The last thing is D, it's develop. And this for me is my favorite part. It's what I call layered leadership. It's where you get to come alongside of your team and teach them what you do. I call it leading out loud, okay? If you enroll a customer or a brand ambassador, go tell your team how you did it. Don't just say, I signed somebody. Show them, this is the post that I used, and this is what I said. This is the script that I used, and then this is how, I helped them walk through it. This is how I overcame their objection. You guys, that is teaching and developing your team at its finest. You want to pour into them and believe in them and love them where they're at. And here's the biggest tip that Aspen ever gave me as far as how to know who to work with and where to go. You walk with a walk. First of all, you work with everybody on your team. You walk with the walkers, jog with the joggers, and run with the runners. All right. And so you're running with those people that are running alongside of you. You're matching people effort for effort, what they want to put into it. If a walker decides, you know what, I'm in a season where I want to run, you go run with that person and help them and develop them. Know what their strengths are and come alongside of them. You guys, we aren't perfect people. There's not a perfect leader. There's not a perfect CEO. There's not a perfect brand ambassador out there. But I truly believe that if you can become a community of uplines, downlines, sidelines, you can fit in the gaps of people's strengths and weaknesses. If you know somebody on your team is really good at recruiting, they might not be really great at developing. You want to come alongside of that person and help them. Same thing. You might have somebody on your team that's really good at developing people, but maybe they're not the best recruiter. As a recruiter, you want to come alongside of that person and help them and teach them all of the things that you're doing. Okay. In closing with this, before I give you guys some of the bonus content today, I'll tell you, when I'm coaching people and walking people through this 5-step process, or just in general, I always come back to this 5-step process. If someone is stuck, this is what I go to, okay? If they come to me and they say, I can't get anybody in, I think of these 5 steps and I'll say, okay, show me your list. How many people are you talking to? And they show it to me and they've made a list of a bunch of people. I'm like, okay, let's look at what you're saying. What are you saying? And I go through it and I'm like, yep, I would say that too. Check, check, check. That's great. Okay, now how many of these people have you gotten in front of the business? And they're like, nobody's actually watched a video or gotten on the phone with me. Okay, we need to help you with number 3, sharing the story. Maybe they're getting tons of people on events, but they're not signing anybody, right? That's when you know step 4, they need help following up and help making the ask. Here's the other thing. If you know, I had a girl on my team that had signed 17 brand ambassadors, but none of them had done anything. None of them had signed anybody. And right there, it cued me into knowing that she wasn't duplicating, or maybe she was, but she needed help with it. Her team needed to understand how to do those 4 steps, right? And so these 5 steps are going to help you grow your business, get you out of a funk, get you stuck, get you going, and also help you coach your team when they get stuck. You can kind of go back to these 5 things and analyze where the missing link is. Okay. So because Emrys just launched our brand new Detox 180T, I am so stinking excited for this product. I thought, what a perfect time to not just tell you guys how to launch your business, but how to launch a brand new product to market. Okay, so I actually reached out to one of my best friends. She is a 1-star director with our company. Her name is Nikki Van Timmeren. She has built in this industry of direct sales for a long time, you guys, and she has crushed it and killed it in a couple of businesses. And I was so excited that she was in the place in her life where she said yes to Emrys, to helping launch this ground floor company. We've always wanted to work together, and we never have, because we were always building in different companies and just the timing didn't align. But one thing I've always admired about her is the effort that she puts into her business, the results that she gets, and how much she signs customers. And when she brings a product to market, it goes over really well. So these are the 4 tips that she told me that she does when she launches a new product to market. So she said, step one, always, 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 always get your hand on that product. Do everything that you can to go buy it if you can. You want to have that product in your hands. You want to know how it tastes, how it smells, what it looks like, how it feels. You want to be able to take pictures with it so people are knowing that you're not just an advertisement, that you're actually using this product. Stories sell and facts tell. Well, if you're not using the product, you don't have a story with it, right? So stories are what you want. You need to have a connection to this product that we just launched. Step 2, she said, start getting pre-orders. Start getting all of their information and their credit card. Why? Because when this product actually goes live and launch, it might sell out like that, right? You don't want them getting on at 10 o'clock at night and having them not be able to order. You're their brand ambassador. Be their brand ambassador. Get their info, get their orders, get their credit card information so you are on right when it goes live and you're able to take care of your customers and get them their products. Don't wait. Don't wait on doing this. Start getting those pre-orders right now, okay? You can do an incentive. You can do a reward for these people. Maybe you can put all of them that pre-order with you into a drawing and give away something or give back to them in some way. Or when you get your bag of the product of our tea, there's 28 packets in there, divvy them up and send 2 or 3 to each of them just as a thank you for getting their pre-order in, right? You guys can kind of use your own judgment on that. So number 3, she said, is don't just go after new customers, okay? Reach out to your current VIP customers and let them know that we've even added this new product to our product line. People are looking for something like this, or they're buying it already somewhere else. We just want to redirect their spending over to Emrys where they're already getting 20% off. Here's the thing. They're not going to know that we launched a new product unless you tell them, okay? So your business opens when your mouth opens. So let them know that we have this new product that they can get their hands on. So number 4 would be, and I loved this idea, create a Facebook event for the launch of this new product. A lot of times people have lots of questions, okay? You could do posts about the ingredients, posts about the benefits of the products, how to replace your spending and buy it somewhere else, talk about the products. People could go live on there and you can just be adding people to this event. It's kind of like the private info group that we have, right? But it's an event just centered around this product. I thought that was a genius and loved it. My tip would be start posting about it and creating stories right now. Let's get this out to the masses. The entire world does not know that Emrys just launched their new tea unless we start telling them about it, okay? So your call to action, if you guys are still on with me, I know this was a little bit longer because I wanted to give you guys that bonus content, was I'm going to give you guys a question to think about and a call to action. Okay, your question to think about is which of these 5 areas are you needing to develop in? Which of these 5 areas do you feel like, you know what, this I'm really strong in, but this is an area that I probably need to develop in? Okay, so figure out what that is for you. Your call to action is go through these 5 steps today. Add a name to your list. Invite somebody to take a look at Emrys. Share with somebody the Emrys story. Follow up with somebody and lead somebody on your team, okay? You don't have to go through those 5 steps with the same person. It can be a little bit here and there, but I want you guys to go through these 5 steps and start to duplicate that, start to know that these are the income producing activities that are gonna lead you to the results that you want in your business, okay? So this is the end of session 4. I am super, super excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's session is called Show Me the Money, and we are gonna be talking all about follow up and making the ask with Rachel Williamson and Tamara Tooth. The reason why it's called Show Me the Money is we all know that the fortune's in the follow up, right? If you guys don't follow up and make the ask, you're not signing people and you're not making money because of it. This is one of my favorite steps to do, and I cannot wait to hear all of their tips and tricks tomorrow about following up and making the ask. I hope every single one of you has an incredible day. Go take a walk outside, enjoy the sunshine, bring that joy into your life. With all this craziness going on right now in the world, I hope you choose faith over fear today and chase your brave. All right, in the words of Aspen Emery, go chase that brave, do it scared, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.